Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Inside Spurs channel. Happy Friday evening. I hope we're all okay. I hope we're all right. I hope we are looking forward to a weekend of whatever it is that we're doing this weekend. I hope we're all looking forward to. As you can see, somewhat fixed my mic. It's no longer falling apart, but I've had to do basically a DIY fix. So don't expect this to last for long. But yes, in this, we are doing the North London Derby preview. So loads of good stuff to talk about. Obviously, we're talking through what Ange said around lunchtime. We're talking about the team news coming out of Arsenal. We're going to be talking about predicted lineups and all sorts. Just want to double check. Oh. It is right. Sorry, it hadn't connected to YouTube. I just made it connect. So sorry about that. Just want to say it has connected. If you're watching this and you're new, subscribe. You're very much welcome to join us for the journey. Obviously, North London Derby preview. I've kind of done a bit of an intro. I'm not going to continue doing intro. You just have to deal with me from now. Hey, Adiz, mate, how are we? Spurs, Van Gogh, Tottenham, Sonia, how are we all? I will come to some of your questions and comments in a second. But really, let's sort of jump in and let's talk about it. Obviously, North London Derby, a game that gives, I think, both fans anxiety. I think that's a nice way to sum up. You get anxiety, and it's always that scared feeling of something that could go wrong. It always has been for me. Even when Arsenal were down in the dumps and Spurs were absolutely rocking and rolling, I had a bad feeling at all times. And, we go into this game, obviously, in a weird space now where, technically speaking, Arsenal are, as much as they try and tell you they're not the favourites, for me, they still are the favourites. If you want to be a title challenger, you have to say that, they should still think of themselves as the favourites. Now, they are missing some players. Don't listen to what they're telling you, because apparently they're the only team in history that's ever had an injury. Spurs never have had injuries, apparently. So there is that. I'm looking forward to the game, but obviously, like I said, a little bit of anxiety about it. Now, looking at some of the news coming out of the club today around some of the Spurs side of things. So I'll talk about the Spurs team news first. Normally I speak about Arsenal, but I'm going to speak about Spurs first. They can always come second in my eyes, Arsenal. Hey, Marshall, mate, how are you? The sky's properly falling, according to some Spurs fans. The fans are making it so boring supporting Spurs right now. The world is always a miserable place. I think people that allow misery to take over what they enjoy in terms of sport, I just think are always going to be miserable humans. Spurs haven't played in a couple of weeks. I don't know why they're miserable. But yes, obviously looking at the team news for Spurs at the moment. So this is coming from Tom Barkley, who first put out that Yves Bissouma is out of the North London Derby, but Mickey van der Ven has trained this week. Dominic Solanke trained yesterday, so both have a chance of being involved. Richarlison is still out. He did go on to clarify to say that he may have jumped the gun. Ange said Bissouma had an issue and it was not serious, so possibly incorrect at this point to say he's completely out of the game. Major doubt would be more accurate. Obviously, just sort of on the front of the two guys to actually feature in Solanke and Van der Ven, I think it's great. Obviously, look. We don't technically have a number 9 fit, because obviously if Richarlison's missing time, you've obviously got Lancashire still technically not fit as well. Solanke being back's massive. Obviously, big summer signing. He, I think, would play a huge role in this as well. He's gonna be a massive point of interest for us, I think, now. And so I think with Dominic, we're going to need him. We're truly going to need him, in my opinion, because I think if we're gonna win this game, we're going to need the main man to feature. Now, with Mickey, obviously, there was a lot of people saying, it feels a bit harsh that, Radu's not going to be starting, and, he's missed time with, Mickey's missed time, and Radu's obviously played against Newcastle, actually looked pretty decent against Newcastle. But all in all, I think Ange loves Mickey, and it does feel a bit harsh on Dragusin to miss a bit of time, but I also understand it in a way. Look, we're going to be playing 2 games a week going forward, so Dragusin, if he was to miss this game, he's not going to miss much football. He's going to play a lot of football over the next month before the next international break. Now with Mickey, makes sense. You still got Destiny back. You in theory have the most prominent and most used back 5, if you want to include Vicario. That's obviously the important thing there. We obviously are a different beast when those 5 all play together. We're a top 4 defense. As much as you'll have the negative Nancy's all telling you that none of those guys can defend, they're all rubbish, they're all awful. Statistically and on stats prove we are the 4th best defense in England when those guys all play together. Obviously, through the international break, Destiny got a bit of time, so I think Destiny's going to get a bit more up to match speed. Again, with Mickey missing the international break to get up to speed himself from an injury. Romero's obviously had a lot of game time through the international break, as well as travel, and obviously Pedro's been back here the whole time. So, look, I expect both to feature, and ironically, I think both will start. Obviously, I'll come to my own team news in a bit, but that's how I feel at the moment. Don't really take much notice of Darwin Núñez, Marshall, mate. Hey, Rec, how are you? Hey, Les, mate, how are we? We're going to completely dominate Arsenal. Pundits will be shocked at how easy we played them off the park. Easy 4-1 win. I can feel it coming. I like it, Liston. You took Son out of your FPL. Disgusting. Thank you for reminding me. I do actually need to do my FPL, Les. I haven't looked at mine in over a week. Hey, Matic, mate, how are we? How are we all? So, yeah, on that front and on those side of things, it's not too bad. Annie, we doing need to talk too much. Arsenal are going down a road of banter tomorrow. Well, there you go. And we need Solanke. We do need Solanke. We do need Solanke indeed. So to bring in someone that I think can add a different flavour and different bit of spice, I do have someone joining me. They have just joined. You can't see them, but I can. They have just joined. So I will welcome to the stage, Luke. Luke, how are you, my friends?
All good. All good. Sorry, a bit late. You hear me all right?
On mute, my friends.
Oh, no. Not this again.
Let's have a look. Well, we'll get Luke sorted in a second. All right. Don't worry. We'll get him sorted in a second. I promise. Because it could be down to me as well. Right. Go on, Luke. Go for it now. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Anyway, yeah, he'll be back in a second. I removed that comment why YouTube still show. I don't know. Bentancur, great if Bentancur is available. Bentancur should be fit and fine. Another face, you have friends. I do have friends. You can hear him. He's back in 2 minutes. He just commented. But look, for us, for me, we definitely need those guys. Bentancur, I assume, would start. Obviously, yes, look, he has been charged. But he will be able to play in this game. He has to respond by the 19th. So in 6 days' time, he has to respond. So I'm just telling Luke that he joins back because we can hear him. But yes, on Bentancur, if Bissouma can't go and rock and roll, then I would expect Bentancur to start. Now, obviously, let's talk about the 2 lads missing out. Obviously, Bissouma being one. It would be a big shame to miss out on Bissouma. Obviously, man in form, playing very well. Had a really good international break as well for Mali. Richie, obviously, we know has missed time through injury. We know he's not 100%, but I think he'll be back pretty soon, if I'm honest. So there we go. I think Luke is back with us now. Luke, you're here. We can hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you. There we go. How are you, my friend?
All good. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
Technical issues with the old AirPods.
No, that's all right, mate. That's all right. We're all boomers at heart, so that's fine. Luke, I'll give you a quick roundup. Obviously, I know I'm 10 minutes in, but I was just talking about, obviously, just the Spurs team news so far. So you haven't missed too much. I sort of summed the game up in my own head as an anxiety-driven and riddled game. It doesn't matter if when we were rocking and rolling, Champions League finals, finishing second, fighting for all sorts, and Arsenal were down in the dumps, it doesn't matter. This game always gives me anxiety. What do you think about this game? What are you a positive person where you think you're going to rock into this game, we're going to slap them for 7, or do you go into this game going, it's Arsenal, I don't know what to think? Let me know.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it? I hate this fixture so much. And we've got a few Arsenal mates as well, don't we? So it's always bragging rights, isn't it? Coming out of the game and stuff. But typically, normally goes the home way, doesn't it? Whoever's playing at home normally gets a bit the better of it. The results, obviously, we haven't had it too well at the new White Hart Lane, so it'd be good to get a good result on the weekend. But yeah, as I said, it's fills me with anxiety for weeks before, and with the international break as well. It's gives me shivers thinking about it. But no, looking forward to it still. We're going to meet a couple of Arsenal mates, aren't we, in the pub on Sunday? So yeah,
we are indeed, and I hope to God they don't give me and you loads of stick. I hope we go in there and do our business. Just Van Gogh, mate, don't listen to Luke where he drinks water. All right, it's always summer fruit squash. It's always the right thing to do, mate. Don't listen to Luke. Don't follow his lead. Follow my lead. Summer fruit squash only. But look, moving into team news, I sort of talked about Solanke and Mickey looking like they're going to be featuring this weekend. They have been training. Mickey's trained a little bit more than Solanke, but they both have trained. Basuma, potentially a major doubt. He's not been ruled out, but they'll see how he goes tomorrow, if he can train or anything like that. Richie, Lancashire, definitely both missing. Do you think you see both Mickey and Solanke? Do you think we see one? Do you think you see neither? I personally have said I think we see both of them start. What say you?
Yeah, I think Mickey will come back in. I'm not sure Solanke. To be honest, I haven't really been a finger on the pulse with the training photos and stuff like that, because I know quite a lot of the Spurs fans like to look through the videos and the photos to see who's running around and stuff. So I haven't been managed to keep my finger on the pulse with that sort of thing. But hopefully Mickey comes back in, because we're a completely different team. I think when Mickey's playing on the left-hand side of the centre-back pairing, just opens it up a lot more, doesn't it? Opens up that left-hand side. So yeah, fingers crossed for Mickey. I fear Solanke, hopefully, yeah. I mean, he's very unlucky, wasn't he, with his injury on the first game. So it'd be great to have him back in. I think Sonny I prefer on the left, as I said in the last stream that was on. If Richie was fit, I'd prefer Richie to be in the front rather than Sonny up front by himself. So fingers crossed, mate. Yeah, fingers crossed Solanke's fit, and we get a good sort of 80, 90 minutes out of him.
For sure. So moving over to Basuma, if the potentially most informed player that we have at the moment is going to miss out through injury, obviously picking up a knock for Marley, do you see Bentancur starting? Or if not, who do you see starting?
Yeah, I think Biss definitely out. Yeah.
He's not been ruled out, but it's a major doubt. So if he isn't, it looks like a bench appearance.
Yeah, that's a shame, isn't it? Because since obviously the Ange stuff and all that, he's looked really good. So it's a shame. Bentancur, yeah, I think Bentancur will come back in. We haven't heard anything about that ban or anything like that, have we? In terms, it's not enforced straight away.
No.
So
not yet.
yeah, I think it will be probably, what will it be? Pape, Bentancur, and Madders as the middle three, would you say?
Well, I mean, I was going to come to predicted lineup. We'll do a predicted lineup for Spurs now. We'll jump a little bit ahead on that one, because obviously we normally do Arsenal and Spurs together, or the team and Spurs together. For me, I mean, are you a brave enough man to say that Kulusevski's not going to start? Because I think Kulu is going to start.
It's got to start.
And Maddison has had a decent start to the season. As much as we have some fans that seem to want to watch the world burn for no reason, he actually has had a good start to the season. Kulu was brilliant on international duty for Sweden. Obviously, he played a more of a 10 role behind Isaac and Gyökeres. But then you'd have to say, yeah, it'll be Bentancur at the 6 if those two guys are going to sit in front. But is there a question, and I'll put this to you, Luke, and you can tell me, do you see Kulu being central with Madders and, let's say, a Bentancur, or Do you see a situation where they look at Wilson Odegaard, they look at maybe those guys on the wing and think, I'm not sure this is going to be the game for them, and they look at Kulusevski and think, Kulu on the right, maybe then we need a bit more energy in the midfield to overrun them and overwhelm them, because obviously, yes, they're missing some players, but Kulu on the right or Kulu in the centre, where do you think? Because I think he starts, but where do you think he does start position-wise?
Oh, it's tough, isn't it? Because obviously you've got Johnson as well, and he looked really good when he came on against Newcastle. But is it the game for him? I'm not sure. I think if we play Madders in midfield, I think you play Kulu on the right. I think that's the way you go with it. I think you play that full strength attacking lineup. I think just preempting the game as well. I think we'll have a lot of the ball. I think we will dominate. It's just be their counter-attack against us, I think, just because Rice and Odegaard aren't playing, are they? I know you probably come onto it, but I think, be unlocking the defence.
Why don't we come on to some of their team news now? It's a great segue. You've done my job for me, which is always nice when someone else does it for me. Normally, that's Van Gogh's role. Van Gogh does a lot of my work for me, but I decided to let Luke take over his role for the day. I like to call it work experience, or in Van Gogh's case, child labour. Let's talk about Arsenal then. Obviously, yes, Declan Rice. We know guaranteed Declan Rice is missing the game after picking up 2 bookings against Brighton. Bit of a stupid Wally, but it's deserved, unfortunately. That obviously is a key situation. Obviously, he's their number 8. He's not their number 6. Obviously, Thomas Partey, he's their number 6. But Declan Rice is obviously the 8. With obviously then him missing that, you obviously then factor in Martin Odegaard's injury and looking like he's going to miss a few weeks, not just a game or two. He's going to miss a few games. I've talked about it in the look ahead video that I did. I think it was on Wednesday that I did it. And I said, I think Havertz will have to drop into midfield and play the Odegaard role. I think then obviously Jorginho will come in and play the 6. And then Partey will be a 6/8 where I don't even think he'll get forward that much, but like it's defensive stability they have there. And then I think you might have a situation where it's Trossard or Sterling. Because I think Gabriel Jesus might be back fit, but I don't think he can play 90 just yet. So I think it'll be Trossard or Sterling. And Sterling seems to be, Mikel Arteta's favourite toy at the moment. But I think it'll be Trossard. He's probably one of their most informed attackers at the moment as well, Trossard. So it'd be hard to leave him out. Where do you see their attacking line look? And do you see Havertz staying in the attack? Do you see Havertz drop into the midfield? What do you reckon from their midfield attack? Who plays where and what?
Yeah, I listened to 90 Min podcast. I don't know if you've listened to it, but Harry on there's really good. And he seems to think that they won't mess with the Havertz position. I think he will stay up front. I think Trossard will come in as the 10. I think Sterling will come in as a left winger, Saka on the right, and then whoever they've got left in midfield. But I think that's the way they'll go. I mean, they've had some good luck out of Havertz up front at the moment, haven't they? So I think they probably will leave it like that. I don't know what's happened to Gabriel Jesus. I don't know if he's fit or not, but he's not the best finisher, is he? And he's not really in Arteta's starting lineup good books, I don't think so.
I think you probably put that nicer than I probably would have put that, to be honest. I would have been a bit meaner than you, but you are right. I think for him, he and Richarlison are so similar. Now, everyone will look to the fact they're both Brazilian, but I look to the fact that they just can't stay fit. And it's so hard to want to try and build around those guys. I mean, we spent big money on Richarlison. They spent big money on Gabriel Jesus. And you just can't put a team around them at the moment because between them, they probably have enough body parts to stay fit for most of the season. But separately, they are walking wounded at the moment. So
also, about time. Last season, they had no injuries for the whole season, basically. Very lucky.
Well, I did mention that I was a bit fed up of seeing Arsenal fans online crying out for sympathy and saying, "Oh, look at us! Look at all these injuries that we have. Look at all these people that we've missing." And it's like, well, you're missing Declan Rice for one game. That's all it is. One game. He's the idiot. He's the reason he's missing the game. It's not Spurs. It's not the Premier League. It's not England duty. It's him. He's the reason. They are harping on about Fabio Vieira missing time. He's in a different country playing football. He's not playing for Arsenal. So don't try and use him in this whole, oh, look at this voodoo behind the Arsenal injuries. Erdegaard's a really unfortunate one. But when we play Arsenal, we're missing our starting left back, who I said after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the Emirates game, destroyed Saka. And there's a famous photo where he's looking down, laughing at him. And that is an iconic photo because Arteta's in there throwing his toys out the pram, obviously, like he normally does. So hard to pinpoint.
I remember watching it. I remember because that was his first proper test in the season, I think, was that Arsenal game. And I think, did he get a yellow card after I think he got a yellow card after 25 minutes or something. And then Gary on comms was like, oh, watch out for this. Not sure how it's going. Not sure how this is going to go. But he performed so well, didn't he? Yeah. He gave him one of them.
Yeah, well, with Destiny, do you know what? Right, I have to hold my hands up here and say, because I think a lot of people maybe don't know this. I said months ago last season, and I said, my friend said that Destiny Udogie is probably the best left back in the league, and I'm an thinking about who it might be, and then I came around and agreed to that. Luke was the guy that said that. That man there on your screen was the person that said that, and then has made me jump on the bandwagon, jump on the train, and now I'm driving the train now because I've said he's easily the best left back in the league. There is nobody near him at the moment. Mm-hmm. You know, as much as people want to. I mean, don't get me wrong, Robertson has started the season well, so I won't slag him off, and I do really rate Andy Robertson, but just missing so much time. That's why I say Destiny. So coming through the game, coming through how we feel about the game. Let's talk then. Predicted lineups. Let's start with Spurs. I think we could probably agree. Vic and goal. Destiny and Porro are fullbacks. Any not shocking or rocking the boat there, am I, Luke?
No.
Okay. Romero.
Yeah, beautiful man.
Does Mickey come back in the team?
Yeah. I think he comes back in. Yeah.
I would agree with you as well. And by the way, guys, get your comments down below and tell me who you think is going to be in the team, by the way. All right. Gavardio is probably the nearest, Teddy. I will give you that Danny Welbeck. Give over that guy, Welbs. TNT just reported that Arsenal suffered the second fewest separate injuries in the Premier League last season. Well, there you go, Matic, mate. Right. See, this is the best thing about the community, Luke. I do no research for any of my videos, and they come in and tell me how I can do my job better. So, look, Romero, Mickey, the usual suspects, the back five are all going to be there. Coming into the midfield then, who's your six?
Oh, probably say Rodrigo Bentancur. I'd probably say in the six. What about you?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm with you. But I'm actually going to be somewhat different. I think Kulu and Madders will play in the midfield because I just think they're not going to have the legs. And I don't think they're going to be dangerous enough through Partey and Jorginho. Because I still think Partey and Jorginho will start. I know they said that, maybe Sterling goes on the left. Trossard comes in at the 10. I don't know, but I still think Jorginho and Partey, I don't think will have the legs to handle Maddison and Kulu. I mean, Maddison had Jorginho on toast last game, had Rice on toast last game.
Looking forward to seeing that battle, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of Spurs fans are unhappy that Maddison has been talking up a big game and, I'll be watching for you, Maddison. You've got to sharpen show out. And I'm like, what did you want him to say? Oh, yeah, no, I'm scared of this game. Or they've really had our pants down. They're the better team. No, he's going to go out and say, we need to change things. We need to be better. Spurs fans being Spurs fans. We'll move on. I'm not going to rut around on the misery of Twitter. Front three, then. I think Sonny out on the left.
Yeah, agree with that. Best position for me.
Big Dom through the centre.
Yeah, I think he comes in, comes back. Fingers
crossed.
Then
you think Kulu out on the right with Pape at the 8, right?
I think so. I think despite us both feeling confident that we will have a lot of the ball and probably dominate possession, I do feel that Ange would want a little bit of legs in midfield to run back just in case you've got those counter-attacking moments
Yeah.
and stuff. So, which I think is wise, but yeah, I could see Kulu in the middle, but I think Andrew go urgent side caution with the legs and more defensive-minded player.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I love Pape. I think we as Spurs fans have gone through a year of loving Pape, and he's our star boy, and we love him. We think he's amazing. Now we've got two new youngsters and two new toys in the midfield in Gray and Bergval that we kind of forget that Pape's still really solid, really good. I mean, look, Luke, I've been talking on this channel. You probably have seen it. I've said, look, Kobe Mainoo is a really good player, but for what I need from my position at number 8, I'm taking Pape Matar Sarr, and I don't want to have a conversation about it. It's not to say that I think Pape is miles clear of Kobe. I just think play styles wise, I need in Ange Ball system energy. Give me Pape, right? So I love Pape, and if he is to start, no complaints. But I think we can both agree Kulu is definitely starting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, somewhat good. So looking at what we what the guys think, Sonia reckons a good team selection so far. Apparently favours my team selection over yours, Luke. So make of that what you need. It's just my loyal fan. It's my loyal fan base just turning against you already. Van Gogh reckons Sonny, Solanke, and Odebear. That would be my front 3 if Kulu is playing central. Luke, would you say Odebear starts if Kulu's play central?
I don't know. I didn't think he was the best against Newcastle. Got to admit.
That chance that he missed at the back post is still haunting me ever so slightly.
He showed his kind of, I don't want to say age, inexperience maybe. He's a great talent, but you can tell he's still trying to get used to the system, isn't he? And still trying to get used to where he needs to be, because there was a few times when balls were being whipped across the front and he should have been at the back post to tap him in. Which Sonny, if Sonny was out the left, would have been there probably.
Yeah, that's definitely in the back of the net if it's Sonny. I mean, statistically one of the greatest finishers in the Premier League, you know. But not when City have come to town and Arsenal go for the title, apparently. But that's not. We're not going to go through that one, are we?
No,
we're not going to go through that one. But look, I think on those ones, I think we're quite similar on our. I think we're probably only different really on one area, which is the right wing position. I think we both think Kulu's going to play. I think Odebear, and you think Sarr. So I think we're pretty much 10 out of 11 agreed. So that's not normal. That's quite nice. So, Luke, coming on to I think is my favourite part of any preview, the key battle. I want to know your key battle. Is it a defensive player and an attacking Arsenal player? Is it an attacking Spurs player and a defensive attacking Spurs player, a defensive Arsenal player? What is it? Who is it? And why? And then I'm going to come to some of your comments in a second. All right. So unless you need time to think, Luke.
You put me on the spot a little bit, Randy.
Tell you what.
But yeah, I could probably think of one.
I tell you what, I'm going to give you 30 seconds. I'll hit some comments. All right. I'll give you a second to think about it. Because obviously I've had a few hours to think about who I think. I tell you what, I did record some F1 24. That's what I did do. And I hate Alex Albon. So there you go. Yeah. Is Jesus available for Arsenal? There was talk about him being available. Yes. Odebear was brought in for France under 21s. Yeah, he was. Desiree Dewis sat on the bench. Well, there you go. I think we all forgot about Lancashire in the team. Well, Lancashire's injured, mate. So that's why he's not in the team. Sonny, Solanke, and Odebear. I think, Ivan, I'm going to agree with you there. Vic, Odoggy, Van der Ven, Romero, Porro, Benscourt, Madison, Kulu, Son, Solanke, and Odebear. Dean Gibb, the FBL king himself, agreeing with me. Now, if only, Dean, we agreed a bit more on FBL, I might be half decent at it. But I'm not. I'm rubbish. I'm much better at the NFL. So yeah, keep bringing in your teams, and then also for the guys in the comments watching, bring in your key battle. Tell me who your key battle is. And Luke, I'm putting you on the stage now. Who is your key battle and why?
So I was thinking Ben White versus Vicario, because what happened last time with his fingering his gloves, which is just Ben White and a bit of bit of a knob.
And a mouthful of squash when you said that. I was thinking for a second, I was like, Vicario and Ben White, that's a weird one.
Yeah, we all remember what happened last time with him fooling around with him. Yeah, Ben White.
Yeah.
But I would actually say probably I like to see that battle, that a doggy Saka battle again. See what that's like. I was thinking about the offensive areas because I think we will be more dominant and it will be more of us attacking them than attacking us. But that counter attack was always there with Saka. We saw it, didn't we? Was it? It was the last game at White Hart Lane, wasn't it? When Saka sort of went through and scored. I think it was the first goal.
3-2, yeah. With Davies obviously at left back that game,
yes.
not Destiny.
Exactly, yeah. So I'm interested to see how that develops again, to see if a doggies, because I thought against Newcastle he was a little bit at fault with their second goal, wasn't it? When they just sort of passed it through, because I think he's still getting his fitness back a bit. So
yeah, I don't think he's 100%. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see, because he went away with Italy, didn't he? I'm interested to see if he's got his fitness back up to the levels we want him to be, and how he deals with Saka on the right wing, keeping him quiet with those with the threat of the counter attack, which I think will come. So
yeah,
that's my key battle.
I think you are right in that. I think counter attacks will be Arsenal's biggest thing. Obviously, I know set pieces for them is quite a big part of their game. Obviously, when they're not allowed to spear and do things to the keepers, they're not as good as we've seen this season. Yeah. Famous last words. That means Arsenal are scoring from a corner or a set piece on Sunday. So you're welcome everyone for that. But I think you're right. I think counter attack will be a big thing for them. It will be sitting back, soaking up pressure like they've done with other bigger teams as well. They sit back, soak up pressure, and then hit with speed. And I think they will try with Saka. Now, obviously, yes, we do have the main man back at left back, which makes everyone's anxiety just drop ever so slightly, which is always nice. So I don't hate that. I think looking at it, Sonia agrees with you. Destiny and Saka will be the big one there. Ivan's gone. Ivan's actually going to go for the one that I'm going for, but I'm not going for Saliba. I'm going for Gabriel. I'm going Slanky and Gabriel. Now, the reason I think this is Big Dom, first home game of the season, obviously missed the Everton game. We watched that Newcastle game. Hell, we even watched the Everton game, and we all sat there, I think, as Spurs fans, and went, he could be on like 10 goals already this season. If had Leicester gone a different way and he'd been fit for these other two games, he could have had hat-tricks galore. It's ridiculous the amount of chances that he'd have been there going, yep, I'd have been on the end of that. Yep, I'd have been on the end of that. Yeah, that's me as well. So I think he's going to be crucial. I think with Sonny out on the left, they'll obviously got their eyes sort of panning over a little bit to our left wing going, that's the guy that's given us years of aggro in Son. But we also had Harry Kane for a long time giving us aggro. And Solanke is now here. £65 million striker. He can finish a ball or two. So I'm thinking a little bit of Solanke and Gabriel. I think Solanke will win fouls on Gabriel. I'm not massively a Gabriel fan, if I'm honest. I've never have been. I've always rated, actually, Calafiori, Timber, hell, even Ben White, I rate them over Gabriel. I've always just been a bit, I don't know, I think Gabriel was always a bit of a loose cannon unless Saliba's playing next to him. Pre me getting some abuse for that. So looking at really this game then, I've got it on my screen here. Score predictions, Luke. Are you going to be bold? Are you going to be cautious? Are you going to be negative? Or are you going to be our friend Dean, which is overly optimistic? Where are you and what are you thinking?
Oh, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's normally a high-scoring game, isn't it, these? And especially with kind of our attack and our kind of defensive, I wouldn't say liabilities, but need a bit of work, doesn't it? But I just think it's going to be, I don't know, maybe call me a bit naive, but I think it will just be Spurs, the ones attacking, going for it and trying to break Arsenal down. I just can't see it being low scoring, though. I'm going to go 3-1 Spurs, actually.
3-1 Spurs. Yeah. And Luke, we always have our group chat. Again, if you're not aware, Luke is a friend of mine. Hence why we have a group chat. We have a group chat, Luke, and whenever someone goes, "This is my scoreline," I always go, "Well, hang on a second. Who's your goal scorers?" So, Luke, you go 3-1. Who's your goal scorers?
I'm going to go Sonny with 2. I reckon one of them is going to be a penalty.
Wow.
Have we had a penalty this season? Have we? I don't think so.
I just forget what penalties are, mate. They just don't happen for us.
I reckon we get a pen, and also I reckon Solanke is going to get his first goal for the club. So yeah. 2 for Sonny, 1 for Solanke. And do you want the Arsenal?
Yeah, go on, hit me with the Arsenal one. Why not?
I'm going to go Gabriel from corner.
See, the one that I don't rate, you just said is going to score. Well, you and me are going to have it out. You and me are going to have it out on Sunday just for that alone.
He's going to pat it out to his head and it bounces off his head and goes in. Something like that.
Don't, because I defend Vicario. I will die on the defending of Vicario on the hill. Don't, because people will be at me for that. So looking at Ivan's gone 3-1. We've got Van Gogh with a 3-2. Van Gogh, mate, check your Instagram DMs. I did message you back, mate. He's my Carabag hope, Luke. He's going to help me with Carabag. Solanke hat trick, 3-1 Sonia. I tell you what, Sonia, I'd love a hat trick. Yeah. You've set something off here because there's another one. There's a bloody another one. 3-1. Ilmatic 3-1. Stephen, please let Spurs win. 1-0 will do. Solanke to the rescue. I would take that. And we reckon Saka to score Sonia. Okay, well, when you were talking, I wanted to bring up the last 2 games because away at Arsenal was a 2-2. We lost obviously 3-2 at home. Away at Arsenal, we had 53% possession, 54% possession. We had 62% at home. So I was trying to bring that up whilst you were talking because you sort of said we're going to have more of the ball. And I wanted to try and bring in a few stats to kind of back you up there.
Yeah.
I definitely agree, mate. I think we will dominate the ball. 62% possession we had last time. I think it'll be something like that. 60. Wow. Yeah. Unbelievable, mate.
That's even with Rice and Odegaard playing for them last time, so it could be even higher. Yeah.
It's one of those ones though that they went 3-0 up and just went, can't score 3, and then we went and scored 2, and probably should have had a 3rd or a 4th, and they went, God, we got away with that one, didn't we? They won't be getting away with that because I don't think they're going to get a point. I think we're going to win. I actually think so as well. Callum Roach, OG, legend, GOAT of the channel. He's going 4-1. Same goal scorer as Luke, plus Mikey Moore from the bench. I tell you what, I'll speak on behalf of Luke for that to say that we would bloody love that.
I love Mikey Moore.
So you look at that. Van Gogh reaching out saying he's missed Callum. We all miss Callum. Callum's a legend. No, more importantly, though, no offense, Callum, score predictions. And Arsenal will score. I do think they will score. But they will only score 1. And I'm umming and ahhing, Luke, because I was thinking 3-1, but I thought, why would I go 3-1? I feel like that's a bit boring to be the same as you. So is it going to be 2? Or is it going to be 4? And I'm umming and ahhing. And I think we're definitely getting 2 goals. And I don't see Arsenal scoring more than 1. So therefore, that's why I automatically think we're going to win. Do you know what? I'll do it. 10 toes down. Put out me on the blocks. I'm going for 4. I'm going to go for 4.
Wow.
Because I just think, do you know what? Why not? Have a bit of fun with this. And famous last words, we lose 4-1 and I look like an absolute knob. But, don't worry about that. It was all a bit of fun. I think the reason why is I'm the same as you. I think with Solanke playing and Sonny up there, so much attack, so many opportunities for goals between those guys. If it is Odegaard down the right, and I think Calafiori is missing the game. So what? Is it Zinchenko at left back? Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. Odegaard, Bertie, Odegaard, with no kneecaps, they're skinning my guy Zinchenko. They're skinning him. He can't defend to save his life.
Is Zinchenko playing left back, is it?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Calafiori's injured. Oh, no, it'll be Timber. Doesn't matter. He's getting skinned. Yeah. He's going down. He's yelling timber. That's terrible.
Good.
But no, I think I'll go for 4. I'll go for 4. And do you know why also I'm going to go 4? I think they're going to have a sending off. I think they're going to implode a little bit. like they did when we had Conte, and we watched the game at yours, and we watched that game, and I said, because they had Rob Holding and Gabriel at centre half, and I said one of those two is getting sent off because they're just too up for it. You know, back in the day when we lost 5-2, and I was at the game, Adebayor scored a goal, looked like the world beater that he was on the day, got sent off because he was too up for it. And I think it's a similar sort of thing, and that's why I think they implode a little bit. And I think Spurs, in the end, rock up and get the win, 4-1. I'm going to go for it.
Lovely, mate.
Yeah.
Good optimism.
Mate, I'm Dean. Call me
after one more goal than I predicted.
Yeah, in all honesty, I do actually think it'd be 3-1. That was my go-to, but I just thought, you know what, 2-1's a bit boring. 2-1 makes me feel like I should have anxiety now, and it's still, a day and a half away. 4-1.
It's one of those games, isn't it, Andy, that you just don't know what could happen. Like, it's always the same. Form goes out the window in these games completely. You could go into it feeling optimistic and come out of it feeling like, what the hell's just happened? It always happens with this game. So, wouldn't be surprised if it is 4-1 to us. I wouldn't be surprised if it was 4-1 to them. So,
like I said in the look ahead, form goes out the window, and it doesn't matter if Arsenal were 20th in the league or we were first by dozens of points. It's a derby. And for me, whoever turns up and wants it most turns up and normally gets the result they want.
Yeah.
So I think Spurs are going to be up for it, because I tell you what, they're going to have to be, because losing last time at home 3-2, where we probably should have gotten more out of the game. We obviously drew 2-2 at theirs, where we probably could have had even more at the game had it gone a different way another day. But also, they're very noisy again. And they're talking about the Mikel Arteta contract signing as a, look at this, the guys are going to be up for it this weekend. They're going to run through brick walls for our manager. There's nothing better, 5 minutes in, Pedro Porro slamming in the top binzer, because I never gave him a goal scorers, because Pedro Porro, the birthday boy himself, is on my score sheet. I will give my man, Double P, a goal. I'm going to go with him. I'm going Maddison 1. I'm going Sonny 1. And I'm going Big Dom 1. I think we're all going to get all on the score sheets. I think they're all going to do that. Goal scorer for them, Havertz. That's for me, 4-1. Phillips agreeing me. Phillips gone 4-1. Phillips going 4-1. He said, I'm deluded, but you could win 2-1 though. Philip, I tell you what, mate, if it was 2-1, 3-2, 4-2, 5-3, whatever, if Spurs win, mate, that's all I care about. Stephen reckons 5-1. So Stephen is basically what our friend is Dean. Very optimistic. All right. Yeah. But yes, thank you all so much for joining myself and Luke. It was a bit scuffed because I was rushing it, and I made Luke rush his evening to come and join me. So apologies from my side.
Working calls.
Not your fault. You're a busy man, mate. You're an important person in this world. All right. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. But thank you all very much for joining us this evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekends. Luke may join me for the review on Monday. We'll see how things line up. It's not the end of the world if it doesn't. But obviously, plenty of previews and reviews coming now this month with Europa League football being back. Anyway, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Take care, everyone. Peace.